come get your workout in. No thinking, just do. I'm Margo Alvarez. I've coached thousands of people, and I'm here to coach you. Today's workout of the day is, today's warm-up, we're gonna be doing 8 to 10 wall balls every 30 seconds for 4 minutes. This is gonna help work on conditioning for your lower legs and upper body, and also help you get more proficient at wall balls. After that, we're gonna get to mobility. Today, we're gonna be doing a series of exercises with a band to help open up our thoracic spine and shoulders, which is gonna prepare us for our strength. Our strength is going to be strict press, 5 sets of 5 at about 80% of your 1 rep max, if you know that. If not, then it'll be a challenging load. But then we're going to superset that with 8 single arm dumbbell rows with each arm, 2 to 3 minutes of rest, again, total of 5 sets. Then for our conditioning piece today, we have a couplet. Couplet is 2 different movements. We have barbell deadlifts, and then we're going to superset that with lunge steps. We're doing 12 deadlifts with the barbell, and then 10 lunge steps for 4 rounds. For this wall ball warm-up, I like to give a guide of fingertips or palm to the wall. It gives you enough space for the wall ball. Feet are gonna be underneath your shoulders to give enough space to squat. You'll pick up your medicine ball, wall ball. You're gonna pull yourself underneath, getting hip crease below the top of the thigh. You're gonna pop your hips, transfer momentum into the ball, and you wanna make sure you're flicking your fingers to hit the target. The guide today is 10 feet for both women and men. You can modify to 9 feet. So think of the squat and then a press. I wanna make sure I'm receiving that ball back here in this position, and then I'm going into that squat nice and slow. So as I descend, I go down into the squat, and then I come back up, again, keeping this 90-degree angle with my arms. Today's mobility segment, we're using a 1-inch thick band. You're gonna loop it around an anchor point like a rig, something that's sturdy and heavy. If you can't have a high target like this, you can always wrap it around the side of a rig. You're gonna place your left hand underneath, wrap your hand around, palm facing up so you're getting external rotation of that shoulder joint. Left arm is in the band, left leg's gonna take a nice big step back, and we're going to do a lat lizard stretch here. The intention is to open up the shoulder joint and hip joint, as well as some of your rib cage. You can twist side to side, you can push back and forward to open up that stretch. You'll do 1 minute on the left, then you'll switch, do 1 minute on the right. Then we'll come back to the left arm, and we're gonna do a straight arm bandage stretch. I'm gonna face away from my anchor point. This is always the anchor point, so I wanna make sure I'm slightly in front, arm out in front of me. I'm gonna stagger my stance, left or right leg, no preference. Arm is as straight as possible, bicep by your ear. I want to think of using my hand as a pancake to press into my ribs as I press away from my anchor point. You can stay here for that 1 minute. If at any point it gets too much, you always relax and then come back into it. Left and then right. Then we're going to bend the arm for a banded bent elbow. Same concept, but now the anchor point is behind us still, but now the band is coming lower to our elbow. Same thing, staggered stance. I'm going to push away, let the band be pulled back, trying to open up that shoulder joint more. Same thing, 1 minute left, 1 minute right. We're gonna close with a banded C stretch. If my left arm is in front of me, I wanna make sure I have about a couple inches in front so then I can take my inside leg, my right leg, nice big side step to the side, like a lateral side step, and I'm gonna drive my rib cage and hips away from my anchor point. This is gonna be a difficult, challenging stretch if you're new, so make sure you have a nice wide stance to feel comfortable. If you feel relatively flexible, you can sink down as low as you can to the floor. Spend 1 minute. If you need to break it up into 2 30-second segments, go ahead and do so. 1 minute left, 1 minute right. That'll wrap up today's mobility. For today's strength component, we're gonna be doing strict press, 5 sets of 5, superset with single arm dumbbell row. Let's talk about the strict press first. You're gonna set up the bar so it's at your shoulder or slightly below. This is going to allow you to get it out of the rack without going onto your tippy toes. Hands are right side outside the shoulders. I use my thumb next to the knurling and the smooth part. This gives me a guide of where my hand should be outside the shoulders. So I use my thumb as a starting point, then from there I can tweak it as needed. From here I'm gonna wrap my full grip around the bar, pull myself underneath, create that front rack position with the bar on my shoulders, stand up, 1 big step away, so then I minimize how far I'm traveling. Elbows are slightly in front of the bar. I have a full grip around the bar as much as I can. Notice that this is not like a front squat around my fingertips, but I don't have my elbows below or behind. So use your shoulders as a rack. From here, I'm gonna have my feet between my hips and shoulders, squeeze my quads, butt, abs, everything's tight, pull the chin back, and I'm gonna press that bar overhead, locking out the arms, bar finishing right above the head. From here, I'm gonna reset by pulling my chin back out of the face, out of the way, elbows come forward, and I bring the bar back to the shoulders. Now, since we're doing 5 sets, you wanna hold your breath, but I actually like to challenge myself and reset at the top, so it looks like so. Once that bar is in motion, it's easier to keep it in motion. Legs are nice and tight and locked out. The stronger your core is below in terms of your body, so think abs, hips, legs, if all this is engaged nice and tight, it's gonna be a stronger concrete foundation to press against. You'll perform your 5 repetitions. Then you're gonna come over to your bench or box, and we're going to do 8 single arm dumbbell rows with that dumbbell, I'm gonna face my bench or box, stagger my stance. Whatever hand I'm lifting the dumbbell, that same leg goes back so I have space to perform my repetitions. Grab the dumbbell, shoulders, hips square to the floor, brace my bend line, pull my belly to the spine, and I'm gonna pull my elbow back behind my rib cage, dumbbell coming to my rib cage. Then I'll return arms straight. I'll perform my 8 repetitions, then I'll switch stance, same thing. I wanna make sure that my elbow's going back behind my rib cage. You wanna try to avoid any like elbow out or bending or flexing at the wrist. So think of almost like rubbing your bicep to your rib cage. 8 and 8, you'll rest about 2 minutes, and then again, complete total of 5 sets. The loading for this workout is light, 155 for gentlemen, 105 for ladies. The purpose of this is to have high intensity, which is gonna help you burn fat and build muscle. If you need to scale the load, I'll put some suggestions down below. 135 and 95 is a go-to. Again, for today's workout, we're looking for intensity. For the deadlift, you're gonna have your feet between your hips and shoulders, hands right outside. You can have a traditional grip, or you can have an alternate grip, up to you. From here, for the deadlift, bar starts mid-shin once you have plates. I'm gonna engage my lats, pull the bar to my body, push the floor away from me, hips and shoulders rising together, pulling my knees back out of the way. Once I pass my kneecap, I'm then getting the extend and my hip, squeezing my butt. This is your end range motion. Try to avoid hyperextending, so just finish shoulder on top of a hip. To return, butt goes back, delay the knee bend. Once you pass the kneecap, you then bend at the knee to lower the bar to the floor. I'll perform my 12 repetitions with the load that I have. Then if you can finish here, jump, shrug the bar to the shoulders, get into that front rack position. Now this is where you want a loose fingertip grip. Use more of your torso to hold the bar. Elbows nice and high. For the walking lunge steps, I'm gonna take a step forward, create a 90-degree angle with both my front and back leg. Back knee touches, then I step up, bringing my feet back underneath my hips. If you feel comfortable and confident and strong enough, you can take a step and just go straight into that next step versus having the feet underneath. If you feel a little unstable, bring your feet back underneath. That'll give you more stability, and then you complete the reps. From here, you can drop the barbell, reset, and then go for the next set. Again, intensity, we're doing 4 rounds, so scale the load back so you can continue to move. If you feel like the load is too challenging, go back a little lighter. Hope you guys enjoyed this workout. Feel free to leave your strength numbers below and your time component. I would love to see how you did, and stay tuned again Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. for the workouts.